Game 1 saw Spain taking on Scotland. Scotland again came out paying no attention to the world rankings in this game, having the majority of the possession early on. Despite having the majority of the possession, Scotland were actually unable to fashion any clear chances in the early goings. So much so that it was actually Spain that broke the deadlock. Spain scoring a scrappy goal just before the end of the quarter, the ball bouncing around in a crowd at the top of the D. A shot was fired off straight at the goalkeeper, with one of the Spanish forwards just in front being able to get a touch to unsight her, and the ball just trickling under the goalkeeper's foot. Scotland continued to battle through the second quarter, limiting Spain's chances, but not really fashioning many of their own. When Spain did create some of their chances, Buchanan was up to it and was able to keep the ball out of the net. Spain were able to hold that lead right up to the final quarter before Scotland's efforts finally bore fruit. A driving run through the Spanish defence by Mackenzie before feeding the ball into McEwen, who was able to slot the ball home. Spain attempted to bounce back, but Scotland was steadfast in their defence to hold on to the 1-1 result until the final whistle. Game 2 saw Ireland taking on France. Ireland came out strong, dominating the possession and creating a lot of chances early on. Ireland striking the post early on, catching the French defence off guard. Ireland had a string of penalty corners and even hit the post a second time, but were unable to find the opener. France were not without their own chances in the first half, actually putting the ball in the back of the net before it was disallowed for a penalty corner first strike being too high. The second half was more of the same, with Ireland piling on the pressure, trying to find a crack in that French defence. Against the replay, it was France who opened the scoring with a strike from the penalty corner. Ireland continued to chase a goal to get back into it, even pulling their goalkeeper to give themselves an overload outfield. This did leave them open, and France were able to create a couple of chances. This forced some excellent defending by the Irish team to keep them in the game, including a save off a penalty corner, clearing the ball over the bar before it was taken back for a dangerously lifted first shot. Ireland continued to pile on the pressure, but were unable to find a levelling goal before the final whistle, France taking the game 1-0. Game 3 saw England taking on Belgium. This was a game of a real midfield battle. Belgium having the better possession and territory in the first half, playing much closer to the England goal. The Belgian press actually paid off in quarter 1, turning over the ball and breaking against England with an overload. Hish made a good first save, but the ball broke to a Belgian attacker who was able to lift the ball over the down goalkeeper and into the net to take the lead. In quarter 2 it was more of the same, with England sitting in a half-court press, but Belgium was still able to find gaps and passing lanes through the press to get themselves into the English 23. England were able to fashion a few half chances of their own before half-time, but were unable to find an equaliser, Belgium taking a 1-0 lead into the break. Belgium secured the result in the final quarter, driving along the right baseline, slipping the ball back into the P-spot area to try and find a touch, but they actually found an English foot, and the ball deflected into the goal, giving them 2-0 lead. England pulled their goalkeeper towards the end of the game, but were unable to fashion any clear chances during that time, Belgium taking the game 2-0. The final game of the day saw Germany taking on the Netherlands. Netherlands hit the ground running, scoring the opening goal in the first minute of the game. Attacking along the left side baseline, they slipped the ball back in front of goal where they found Moos, who was able to tap the ball in to take the 1-0 lead. Netherlands continued to pressure and added a second after about 10 minutes. This time attacking down the right hand baseline, they slipped the ball back to P-spot where they found Matler, who wasn't going to miss from there, knocking the ball into the goal. They were able to add a third before the end of the quarter. A fierce tomahawk pass fired from just outside the circle, through a crowd, found Sanders on the back post for an easy tap-in goal. Germany were able to strike one back from a penalty corner early in the second quarter, but Netherlands were then able to re-establish their 3-goal lead, with Sanders striking again, as she met a ball played to the penalty spot with a tomahawk into the bottom corner to cap off her player of the match performance and her 150 cap game. The Dutch added one more 5 minutes from time. A driving run towards goal ended as Veen went to play a pass around the goalkeeper. She dived to make contact but didn't get any touch on the ball, but this wrong-footed the goalkeeper and the momentum on the ball carried it past her and into the net. Netherlands taking the game 5-1 and securing a place in the semi-finals.